Okay, I'm going to say something that's going to piss people off on this channel. Alright, first of all, yes, everyone should have the right to say that they're gay. And everyone should be allowed to be gay in public. And everybody should be allowed to be proud of that. You know what I mean? But when we talk about equality, I ask myself, what is equality? And I think to myself, well, equality means that homosexuals would be able to do the same thing as heterosexuals do. Okay. Now, heterosexuals, when they're in public, they don't wear, a name tag that says, I'm a heterosexual. A guy doesn't put a sticker on his chest to be controversial and say, I like my dick and pussies, alright? And a woman, likewise, would not put a sticker on herself that says, I like a cock of my pussy, or something, you know what I mean? They just wouldn't say something controversial. Yet, because, unfortunately, of the rejection and of the suppression of gay rights, some homosexuals feel the need to express themselves. And sometimes they feel the need to express themselves in very direct ways. And if a woman were to say, I'm a fag and I like pussy, I mean, I would find that just as offensive if I were to see a guy wearing a shirt that says, I like my dick and pussy. You know what I mean? Both are equally vulgar, okay? But if a guy decides to hold his girlfriend's hand in public, that's fine. If a girl holds another girl's hand in public, that's fine, okay? But if a man and a woman make out in public, I find that to be indecent. If a woman and a woman make out in public, I find that to be indecent. I don't believe in overly sexual public displays of affection. A little kiss on the lips, a little kiss on the cheek, fine. Once you get the tongue in it, that's okay. Now you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with the terms? Okay, I'm going to tell you what it has to do with the terms. I don't think Xbox Live is really the place to express your sexuality. Okay? If you want to express your sexuality, go to an open mic, thing in a coffee shop, You talk about a guy, you can talk about something, you totally plummeted your girlfriend last night, make a poem about it, that's great, But going on Xbox Live, which is for gaming, it just doesn't seem like the right social arena for it, does it? I mean, in Xbox Live, you wouldn't find someone writing, by the way, I'm heterosexual. Someone would look at that and like, why the hell did they write that? So just as ridiculous as it is, earlier as I was saying, for this, you got to put the same terms in. If it's ridiculous for someone to write, I'm a heterosexual, I think it's just as ridiculous for someone to write, I'm a homosexual on Xbox Live. And also I think there's a problem, and I know that bigotry often hides behind this. Bigotry often behind, it's like, what about the children? Okay? Listen. I would find it difficult enough explaining to my 8-year-old son who goes on Xbox Live what sex is to begin with. Let alone what sex between two people of the same gender is. So if my son or daughter goes on and sees the word lesbian, I think that kind of compromises where I want my child to be. You know what I mean? And so it's not that it's accommodating bigotry, it's just accommodating, I would say, what's basically what is appropriate. There's always, wherever you go, I mean, you know what I mean? We don't have raves in theaters, and we don't do, there are just certain places that you don't do certain things. And to me, Xbox Live is a gaming thing. When people go there, they go there to game. They go there to shoot each other up and all that stuff. They don't go there to say, by the way, I like pussy, or I like to use dildos or whatever. No, you're there to game. So to me, to say I'm a homosexual, I'm a heterosexual, both are equally as invalid, And I think if bringing up sex, if you were a heterosexual and started talking about sex, that I think is wrong. And for a homosexual to bring up sex on Xbox Live, I think that's wrong, because there's a chance that it might get to someone who is underage and has not yet had appropriate sex education yet in school. And I think that's something that needs to be considered. So, I hope that you understand what I'm saying. We shouldn't accommodate bigotry, but we should accommodate social rules and what's appropriate. There's certain social arenas where one thing's appropriate and one thing's not. And I would have to argue that online gaming on Xbox is one of those things where it's not right, because you have underage children on there. And also, it has nothing to do with gaming. So why, and again, I mean, if it's equality, again, it's just equally ridiculous for a heterosexual to say, hey, I'm a heterosexual and I like my dick and pussy, and, it's equally just for a lesbian to say whatever. So, yes, I don't want to make one rule over another. I'm just saying that it's bad for both sexual persuasions to do that on Xbox Live. So don't take me as a bigot, and don't take me as accommodating. I'm just saying there's appropriate arenas for us to express our sexuality, and I don't think Xbox Live is one of them.